Good afternoon. Hello and welcome to this special edition of Do You Want to Scale to £100,000 Turnover? I'm Vic Taylor and joined with me is Angela Vanoia, and we're going to take you through the steps that you need to go through to scale your business to £100,000 if that is what you want to do with how you are growing your business. So we've got a presentation here today, and we are new to being live on StreamYard. So we're going to try and do this without any technical hitches. So please bear with us if anything happens. But we're going to take you through our presentation, and we invite you to ask any questions as we go. There are going to be lots of free resources, so you might want pen and paper handy. We're also going to be getting you to do some activities during the session as well. And we want to help you to remove some of those biggest blocks that you're facing in your business to help you uncover what the problems are and how to fix the problems. We're also going to help you we're going to support you to nail down your niche, to sharpen your niche, and to narrow down that target audience. Because a lot of the times what we see with companies is they are trying to target everybody, and through targeting everybody, you end up targeting nobody, and it becomes harder to do your marketing. And we're also going to talk today about increasing your prices without feeling the ick, because generally that can be one of the things that gets in the way, and I've certainly felt that myself. So we're going to be talking through that as well. So as we progress through, let's see if we're going to work with no technical hitches, hopefully. Oh yes, and also we've got a special bonus. So if you're with us for the duration, we're going to run a little raffle at the end. If you want to be in it, then we're just going to take your names. I'm going to put them into a little jar here. I'm going to rustle around. I'm going to pick somebody out who is going to win a 1-hour business session with me, and we can work on any parts of the marketing for your business. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to be part of that. So tiny little bit about myself and Angela before we get started. So I am a marketing strategist at heart. I've got 25 years of experience in both corporate roles in 6 different companies, and also through operating 6 of my own businesses as well. 2 of those are still trading today. Some have been sold, some are closed. One of those businesses that I worked on the initiation and creation of went on to attract £8 million of investment, which means that a lot of the time we think, sometimes I can have a little idea, is it going to turn into anything or not? And, sometimes these things can be bigger than we think they're going to be. So we're here to help you to nurture what you've got and help you grow it. Another one of those businesses I launched via a crowdfunding campaign, and within 12 months of trading, I was selling into Selfridges and got listed as a finalist in an award. Another award recently, I won the Marketing Strategist of the UK and Ireland. This is with Enterprise Nation. I've done lots of talks on Enterprise Nation as well. So if you're ever looking for some more support, you can head over to Enterprise Nation and search for me with all the different presentations that we've done to help you with your business. More recently, I've taught over 400 marketing students how to go freelance. I'm currently working with thousands of students to help them to understand that starting their own business is very viable. They could start their own business, they could go into further education, or they could go get a job. And so we're working with students that are 16 to 21 to help them to navigate that pathway. More recently, we have created Scale Up Your Sales and Marketing podcast. This is with Lisa Pickles, and we've got 24, episodes of lots of sales and marketing tips. So you can look on YouTube and Google Scale Up Your Sales and Marketing. And just last year, supported another 45 business owners. This was in Newcastle under Lyme, and helped them to go from concept to startup. Some of those came in with a business idea, and actually when they left, the business idea was very different. So we know that sometimes we need to help people to see the bigger picture and to understand, is this business viable? Is this something that I can take forward and help to create a lifestyle for myself that is going to be financially stable? And one last thing is I run a property portfolio alongside running Touchpoints Marketing, and this is Bricks and More. Bricks and More is working on the high street to help charities and businesses to get started. Bless you, Angela. Do you sneezing?
Thank you.
You're okay.
So, hi everyone, I'm Angela Benoya, and I've been working at Touchpoint Marketing now for 2 years as the program manager, and I mainly focus on six-figure niche, which is designed to help business owners to scale their business to six figures through marketing strategies. And last year, I graduated from Nottingham Trent University, and I hold an international business degree, which I achieved a first class honours in. And my experience is in marketing and market research. So I create social media content, which includes Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. So a lot of the things you see on Six Figure Niche are created by me. And finally, my industry experience is managing affiliate accounts, promotional campaigns, influencer partnerships, and also digital strategies for multiple brands. But you're not here to hear about our story. You're here to take the next step in yours.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have joined this webinar for a reason, and these might be because you're second guessing every decision you make. You're not sure if your ideas will actually be profitable. You're struggling to market consistently. You're lacking structure in your business. You're feeling stuck but unsure how to take the next step forward, or all of the above. And if you'd like to write in the chat which ones of these you resonate with and what you're here for, that would be great. I can't see anything at the moment. Can you, Vic?
I'm in the section where I'm just in the back end. I think I might be. Here we go. Comments. There we go. Right. Brilliant.
Number 6.
Hello.
All of the above.
It's good for us to know this because it helps us to shape a little bit when we're thinking about how we can help you during this session, because of course we can tailor this when we know there's certain things that you're struggling with more. We can kind of double down on, spend a bit more time on those things. So thank you for answering the questions. We are live on LinkedIn and also on YouTube at the same time. So I do believe that we'll get all of the responses from either come into the back end of StreamYard. But as I said at the beginning, we are new to this. Somebody else here says marketing as well, struggling to do your marketing. Totally get that. Thank you. Yeah, so as we said, this is our first time being live on StreamYard without Sharon, because Sharon's normally our StreamYard guru. So she's let us loose today. Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt Glover. He says it's number 6, all of the above. Good to see you, Matt. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so we can keep moving on, but we'll know that it's basically all of the above and marketing that we want to focus on today. And yeah, you definitely aren't alone. When we look back to some of the sections within the book, a bit really stood out for me, this quote by Tanya in the Six Figure Niche book. She said, I want to feel in control. She wants to feel in control of her marketing, knowing what to do and when. And also to remove like this noise and this feeling that she's not doing enough in her marketing. And we hear this a lot and we resonate, and it sounds like from the responses that we've just received, that this is resonating with you that's listening today as well. And that's why we wrote Six Figure Niche. So the book, which is available on Amazon, which is self-published. This is why I wrote Six Figure Niche, because the amount of people that I was speaking to who felt unconfident in their marketing, didn't feel like there was a process to follow. They generally come to me with questions like, Vic, what am I putting on TikTok this week? And that's not the question people should be asking. It's more foundational questions like, who is my target audience? How am I pricing? And we're going to come on to all of these. But you can see here, David at the bottom, Angeline bottom right, Katie up at the top. These are genuine customers who have bought the book and wanted to send they literally sent pictures in without even being asked. It's just so lovely when customers really engage with the book and feel like it's making such a difference. And a few little quotes about the book. I'm not going to read these out, but just to give you the idea, shows you that on Amazon, people are putting these 5-star reviews on and saying like how it's helped them with their business. And so it's really lovely to get that feedback and to enable us to know what it's doing to change people's lives and businesses. Therefore, when we do our presentation today with all these 10 top tips, you're then getting information that we know has landed with other business owners. So today we're going to go through these 10 core strategy elements. And as I said, we're going to be giving you lots of free resources as we go. Hope you've got pen and paper ready. We've got a bit of activity to do. And this is not a sales call. We're not trying to sell at you. Yeah, of course, we've got a book to sell, and yes, we've got a program to sell. But today's the rationale for us actually spending time with you live is to help you to kind of navigate through something that might be getting you stuck today. So we're here for all the questions, we're here for support, and at the end we've also got our LinkedIn where you can connect with us and ask us questions afterwards, because sometimes it might percolate for a day or two. So yeah, today is all about giving you lots of help and advice. Number one is where we start with in Six Figure Niche, and it's about why did you start your business? And with this, we go through these questions that are like, why? We literally keep building up that feeling of and going deeper on why did I start? Now, let me just caveat this now with the answer isn't to make money, because if your answer is to make money, then you could go and work anywhere and you could go and get a job anywhere. So it's why did you start this business that you are running, and why this business? Why not a different business? So we really start to get deep into that at the very beginning. And we're going to actually listen from one of our Six Figure Niche members. Kirsty's going to tell you about how she felt going through her why part is. Can you tell us about your business? Here we go. Now, hopefully you can hear, because I did click also listen. So if you can't hear this, please do just pop something in the chat, but I'm going to press play now. And what's been happening recently, because there's been a big shift, hasn't there?
There has. So as it says, I'm a commercial hair and makeup artist working in Nottinghamshire and around the UK. I started out as a lecturer for a college, and through many changes happening in my life, I decided to go freelance and get into the production industry. I started, it's actually a year ago today, yesterday actually, that I made the decision to leave where I was working and go freelance. Since then, I've had some amazing opportunities working with companies such as Tungsten Media in Leeds, KCOM in Hull, Linny's in Mansfield, and most recently Disney Productions. Which
Incredible.
if you'd have asked me a year ago where I saw myself, I'd have never thought Disney would have been one of my clients. So it's been amazing.
I think it's one of those things that's testament to your personality and the way you've approached business, isn't it? Can you tell us about the effect the 7 Whys has had on you and your business?
So the 7 Whys is actually amazing. When you go through the 7 Whys in the book and on the sessions with Vic and Angela, it really makes you delve deeper into why you are wanting to do this job. I originally thought I want to do this job because it's something that I love, and obviously being a bit more sustainable for myself. But when you actually delve into it, it goes really deep, and it really makes you think about what has gone on in your life and around you to make you think, this is why I want to do it. For me, my long-term goals is to open an academy. When I discussed those 7 whys, it got you really emotional as to why. For me, it was, I want to open a training academy so that I can teach people the way they need to be taught. From being a student myself as well, and then going through to being a teacher and a manager, you see that, for me, I saw that the way that we are teaching people is failing. You teaching to a syllabus that is not right for everybody that is taking that course.
Yeah.
So for me, it helped me realise that I actually want to tailor make these courses for people.
That's just incredible. And I remember the moment when you said that, and it just felt really like really light and beautiful. And it was
Yeah.
just really like quite a moment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
kind
it
of
really was.
out. Yeah, really
Yeah.
emotional. Thank you. And so one last question before we tell people about your website. Why do you think it's important to focus on the 7 whys in business? Like, why do you think that's what impact do you think it has? Like, why is it important?
For me, it's really made me make decisions on which way I want to go with my business.
Yeah.
So in one aspect, we discussed about me doing weddings, and it made me realise that actually I don't want to focus on weddings. I want to focus more on the commercial side of things.
Yeah.
And it's made me realise that there is certain aspects to any business that you need to decide whether the right way for you to go, whether you put that to the back burner. It's also helped me realise about pricing, and the fact that I'm not there to compete with others. I don't need to compete with others. I need to go with what I feel should be the right pricing. There's so many people around me that are doing hair and makeup, and essentially I felt like I was losing out on jobs. And then I realised, well, that's not where I want to go.
Yeah, because it's not a
really
race to
helped
the
me.
bottom. Mm,
No, and it's
yeah.
really helped me focus on, as I say, the way that I want to take my business.
Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate you adding all of that today. And I think, being able to hear that is probably quite instrumental for a lot of people who are feeling that I do lose focus. I don't necessarily know the path that I'm going on. Am I doing the right thing? Like you said there, Kirsty, about, you were doing weddings and you completely not completely pivoted because you were already doing some commercial, but probably the 80-20 flipped and you were able to leverage your business faster and do something that's going to get you to that bigger aim, which is building your academy in time as well. So thank you. And yes, if anybody wants to check out Kirsty's website to find out more, here is the QR code. All these links will be in the emails at the end. Thank you, my dear. Brilliant. So that gives you a real true explanation of somebody that's going through six-figure niche at the moment. So let me just go back to this. Can you tell us about your business and there we go. Okay. I've just noticed as well that Angela and I aren't on screen. Here we go. Hello. Sorry about that. I've just noticed. And so, yeah, thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for listening to the story from Kirsty Just. And actually, one of the big things that I took from hearing her just was about, you don't need to compete with other people. Like, this is something that she has grown into, because it's very hard for us when we're business owners and we're constantly thinking, but everybody else out there, I'm in competition with everybody. And actually, you're not. What we say in Six Figure Niche is you're only in competition with yourself yesterday as your business grows. And yes, you're going to want to sometimes take a little litmus test on what is going on in the market, what's working well with other people, what isn't, what's landing. But also, and we're going to add a little plot twist here. When Kirsty was saying, so that video was from 3 months ago. And when she was explaining there just about the fact that she's now not working with weddings. She's not working on weddings, she said, or she's reducing the amount of weddings. Actually, massive plot twist is that she has decided to start focusing on weddings again. And what she's going to do is we've just been working on her pricing, and she's increasing it from £140 for a particular offer that she had, and that is now being removed from her options, and she now has different options going from 395 up to 1495. So actually what we've done is we've supported her in her repositioning and helped her to see her real value and to price accordingly. To start with, obviously she was like, what's this pricing? and after a while, she's just like, yeah, this is what makes sense now. This has landed really well with her, and she's now really comfortable with it. So we just wanted to put that in as an example to showcase that, like, this is very doable. Growing your business to 6 figures is very doable. And, you know, since Kirsty's been working with us on 6 Figure Niche, she joined us in May. Actually, she started working with bigger brands, Disney, Linny, some that we can't even say because she's under NDA, some big brands, and, you know, some big adverts that are coming out for Christmas. So yeah, her work is getting seen a lot more and a lot in a bigger audience that has a bigger budget. So let's move on to, that was number 1, and let's move on to who do you currently target? And I think this is probably one of my favorite parts of 6 Figure Niche. Now we've got a little bit of an activity here, if you're up for it. You need pen and paper, and we're going to do two different types of activities. The one on the left, I'm going to take you through first, and we're going to be looking at your current customers. And then the one on the right, I'm then going to take you through afterwards, and we're then going to plot them into this graph. So let's take it step by step, don't worry. If you can draw some lines on your piece of paper where you've got 4 different columns, and in the first column, you're going to write at the top, it's going to say initials. And then the next column, bear with me, it's going to say yay or grr. You're going to think, like, this is really weird, but I'll explain it. And then the third column is going to say enjoyability, and the fourth column is going to say profitability. Okay. So if you're doing this actively with us, we're going to, obviously we don't see this, and we're going to put some examples in here to help you with this, but we don't see it, and you can put the initials in, or you can put the name in, because it's your work, nobody gets to see it. You're going to put down the name of customers that you currently work with. So you might choose like 3 or 4. If you're thinking, hang on a minute, let's say, for example, you sell things on Etsy and you might have hundreds of customers, you can change what says initials, and you can change that to say like the type of activity. So you might then say, okay, so I'm selling all these different things, but what would be those headers on the website? So what would be the main elements of what you sell, so that instead of the customer's initials, you're going to put down the types of services or products that you sell here in the left-hand column. Now, the yay or the grr is literally like, how do you feel when you're thinking about working with these customers? Do they bring you joy? Do they spark joy? As I can't think what was her name, Angela? The lady who was the interior designer. She was talking about spark joy when we had lockdown. Anyway, do they bring you joy? Do they make you feel yay, or do they feel grr, as in it feels really Marie Kondo, that was her name. She just come to me. Or do they make you feel like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I've got to work with that person again today. They're really awkward. They always they don't respect my boundaries. They don't pay on time. How do you feel about these customers, yay or grr? And then enjoyability, as you can see above, says number 1 would be not enjoyable or profitable, and number 10 would be very enjoyable or very profitable. So on these next 2 columns, you're going to give them a number, each customer or each part of your business, and it's going to be from 1 to 10. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about that. As you're thinking about that, I'm going to check the comments to see if there's been any questions or anything so far. Can't see anything, so that's okay. Fab. So we'll give you a couple of secs to think about that. And what we're going to do is we're going to then plot them into the next piece of paper. So if you are doing these in different columns, we're going to then take them and put them into the next section. So I'm going to show you how this might look. So let's say If we were working with AA, we might say that's a yay customer. We're going to score them 7 for enjoyability. We really like working with them, but could do better. Profitability, not great. We're going to give them a 3. And then we filled this out with a few more. Okay, so if we look at the BB customer, oh no, they're a bit of a GER customer, and they're only a 2 out of 10 for enjoyability. And they're a 3 out of 10 for profitability. So, yeah, what does that say? So CC customer is still a GER as well, but actually they're high profitability. And when we think about that, we think, oh gosh, this is hard because, like, you know, we don't enjoy working with them, but they bring in the money. So how do we feel about that? And then DD is a great customer. We feel yay. We love working with DD. Enjoyability is like 9 out of 10. Profitability is 7 out of 10. So it could inch up a little, but actually this is the kind of person that we like to work with. So I'm going to assume that you've filled out and you've popped some details in there. This is something you can come back to afterwards if you haven't. So we're going to move on to the second part of this now. And as we do, and we're going to plot these into this, this scale. So we've got enjoyability up the left, profitability along the bottom. It's a little bit blurry. Sorry, I've zoomed it in and that's not looking very good. But it does say enjoyability on the left and profitability along the bottom. Now, if you, on another piece of paper, draw a big L shape that will be the size of your piece of paper, and draw, like, at the bottom, you might put like 0, 5 halfway up and 10 at the top, like this. And then along the bottom, you might go 0, 5 and 10 to showcase where that is. Now, I've gone ahead and popped these 4 in. I'm going to take you through them all one by one. We know that AA was low profitability but high enjoyability. And actually, what I'd like to question you on for this is, if this was your customer, is it potentially like you're doing it because it's for charity, because it's low profitability, or it's kind of like a hobby? It's not really driving enough. Yeah, you love it. You love working with these people. You love this type of work. But actually, is it bringing you in enough? BB. So I've obviously put these like so that each one is going to fit into each of these boxes, because I want to talk to you about what you might think, or questions to ask yourself as we go around these 4 different quadrants. So if it's BB and it's low enjoyability and low profitability, you've got a couple of options here. You can either turn it around and it's like, okay, this isn't working right. Maybe there's a process to put in place to make it better. And actually, it's not bringing enough profitability. Therefore, maybe we need to do something in order to help that customer to become a more profitable customer. Or you stop. You get to the end of a contract, if it's a contract in place, or you give an appropriate amount of notice and you say, this just isn't working right now. This isn't something that we're going to continue with. CC, so this is high profitability but low enjoyability. So this is an area that I've definitely come across this myself in the past when we was building the agency, was when we have, like, it's high profitability, but actually I don't enjoy it much, but there are people that I can bring into my team that love this kind of work. Actually, you could either outsource that to somebody else or employ internally and teach people how to do what you do and how you do it, allowing you to focus on the bigger picture of the business. And then DD, this is what we need more of, isn't it? So it's high enjoyability, high profitability. We like customer DD and we need to get more of. So actually, when we think about this customer, we can double down and think, oh, DD, double down that. I didn't plan that. But we can really think,
that was a good one.
Thanks.
Double down.
And we can think, oh, do you know what is it about this customer? How did they hear about us? What is it that makes them great? Where are they geographically? You know, all of these things, and Angela's going to come onto this in a bit when we start to talk about the customer persona. But what are these things that we can actually bring in order to think, what is it that makes this customer really great? High profitability, high enjoyability, and how can we replicate that and get more people in? Like, how long was that pipeline? Did it take a long time for DD to arrive, or was it something that actually, like, the offer went out, they jumped straight on board? So yeah, we're trying to replicate more of the DDs. We'll double down on the DDs. So I was just going to check before we move on, because we've done a couple of the 10 so far. I was just going to check if there's any questions. So if anything's coming up for you now, we're in the questions. We're in the comment section. If you have any questions, please pop them in now, and we can run through. Especially if it's something that you're thinking, well, this is like your business and you want us to go into more depth, we can definitely do that. Okay, right, we'll check back in a bit. So number 3 of these 10 that we're going to run through today is, what do you sell? Now, this is one of those things where we might be in a networking situation and people go like, oh, what is it you do? Well, actually, it's one of those things where we can talk about what we do very easily. But one of the things that's a bit harder is, what do they really get? So I'm going to talk you through this. Within the book, I'm going to go straight to page 36. So activity 4. I'm going to give you these examples because I think this will set the scene for how to explain it. Now, when we think about the customer, here are some examples of what they might really get from you. They might get peace of mind. They might feel more beautiful. They might get to take time out of a hectic schedule. They might feel happier within themselves. They might build surroundings that feel inspiring and happy. They might feel more confident. They might be able to take control of something in their own lives. Or you might help them to take the next logical step in their life. So one of the things that we do within Six Figure Niche is we take through like what to do like within our, so we have a workbook here. I'm going to show you this. What do they really get? There's Yay and Gur. So we've got this here, activity 4, and it goes through what's the service that you offer, because there might be more services here. We've got up to 12. How much is it, and what do they really get? And you know, we have to really dig deep, and sometimes it's about listening to customers that we've worked with in order to understand what is it that they've had from us that I really provide, because it's all right explaining about some of the things that we do and how much it costs, but actually it can really resonate with people on a deeper level when we talk more about how much they really get. Number 4, let's go straight into this. So we have a return on investment calculator. That's how we understand what is already working within marketing. Now, what I've created is, I think it's on the next page, is a little QR code. Here we go, free return on investment calculator. So if you want to grab this, you can scan this with your phone. I think Angela might be popping links in. Are you able to pop links in today, or is that something that's going to be a bit tricky? Totally understand if it's a bit tricky today because it's just you and me. But yeah, you can scan this with your phone, and you'll be able to download an Excel spreadsheet which has all the information on how to do your return on investment calculator. But let me just explain roughly. We have the Excel, you download it, it has all the instructions, but what we're adding in is you get to choose the period of time. So you might say, okay, I'm going to do this quarterly, or I'm going to do this for the year. And you look at, in the first column, you're going to put in like, what are all the different touch points that you've used throughout your business for that period of time? Then we're going to list how much has that created, and then we're going to list how much does that cost, and then it will automatically calculate because I've put the mathematics behind it. Now, the nice thing is we can then reorder those to work out, okay, something might be like really standing out for us, that's up at the top and that's having the highest return on investment. Then there'll be some other things that will really stand out for us because they're at the bottom, and we might be thinking, whoa, blimey, I've spent so much time and money and energy on that touch point and it's returned nothing. And it will make you think like, oh, is that something that I do more of in the future, or is that something that I can now remove from my marketing and double down on some of those other things that actually are moving the needle? Now, I am going to caveat that with, there are some touch points in marketing that we use, for example, PR, that might not have a high positive return on investment. Let me give you an example. So you might spend either the time creating your own press release, or you might have somebody create it for you, so you spent the money, create a press release about, I don't know, let's say you've won an award, and that goes out there to the press, and then it gets out in the press, and you're like, oh, this is brilliant. This is great for my ego. This looks really good. I'm loving this. And then, of course, you can use them links on, LinkedIn or on social media, and, you can use it a bit wider. However, what is more difficult to create with PR is understanding what that return on investment actually looks like, because it isn't as if we've put ads out there on Facebook and then we can see that there are, I don't know, 400 items at £30 that have been sold, and it's really easy to calculate, I spent this and I got back this. However, things like PR, it's really important that we don't just discount them because they might be lower on the return on investment response. And the reason for that is we can use things like PR either at the top of the funnel. So when we're creating awareness with customers and we're at the top of the funnel, we can use it as something that might help, like that first time that it is out there in the press, there might be somebody that sees it. And now they might not be your customer, but it might be the brother or sister or mum or somebody that's either hears it on the radio or reads it in the newspaper or sees it on an online news platform. And they think, oh, right, okay, this is really great for Fred. So I'm going to send it over to him. Now, that's all not very traceable. The other time that press can work really well in your favor as well is the bottom of the funnel. So when we go awareness, interest, desire, action, that bit as the customer is working out, how much desire do they have? You're building up desire for them to say yes. At that point, if there are, let's say you've got a landing page that's saying here's where you can go ahead, to be able to have logos that might say as seen on here, here, and here might be something that gives you the edge over somebody that might be competition. And so if they're thinking, well, if they've been, seen in these industry magazines that I'm aware of, or, they've got airtime on these radio stations, that's something that they might think, oh, well, they seem more of an expert than this other person that I'm getting a price from at the moment. So that's why we do caveat it, but the return on investment has been something that I kind of created because I just thought I need to understand our own marketing. And then I thought, this is something worth sharing. I want to put this out there and help people. So this is free. Have a go, have a play. You can add more tabs at the bottom. So you could do quarterly, each quarter, because there might be peaks and troughs in your business where if you did it for the year, it might be a little harder. Whereas let's say you did it for Q4, then you can actually measure it against Q4 last year as well. And, Easter versus Easter, etc. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, have a go. Please let us know how you get on with this as well, because I'd love to know. So this brings us nicely on to your new vision. And one of the things that I've got a picture behind me of some balloons. I've got a real thing about hot air balloons at the moment. I think I want to get one booked and go and get in one. I've created a guided visualization where I actually take you on a journey along a path to a hot air balloon, and you get into it and you go up into the clouds, and then you come back down the other side, and the other side is your business in 3 years. And you can see, touch, hear, smell, everything. You've got full view of everything that's going on in your business. Now, what I really love about this, and I've done it with so many hundreds of different businesses, there was a time at the very beginning when I first launched it, and I was working with food and drink businesses in Welbeck Estate. And they'd got a theatre style room, and I don't know, there's probably 30, 40 businesses in there. Now I handed out little eye masks. I think they must have thought I was a bit she's a bit weird. Anyway, all these business owners went with the flow, and they put the eye masks on, and they were really good. They trusted me, and we went with the flow. And I took them on the guided visualization and took them up in the hot air balloon and into their business. We looked around their business, and then I brought them back, and they came back kind of back into their seats. So when they took the eye masks off, there was one lady on the front row, and she was like, flipping heck. And I said, oh, do you want to explain a bit more about what you've just seen? And she says, yeah, I'd love to. So she explained that her product, like she's just literally walked out of a boardroom in her 3-year vision to sell her company to like the big boys, the bigger companies. And that's it. Like, she's like, I've just signed the contract and it's gone. Like, I've just sold the company, which is amazing. So what she said was, the thing is now, Vic, I now know that every decision I make in my business at this point is literally aiming towards, is that going to create a higher price when I sell my company? So if we're looking at buttons on the website, like, should they be red or should they be green? Actually, does it matter? How much of an impact is that going to have on? I mean, like, yeah, there is psychology around colours of buttons and things, but some things we don't want to get too hung up about. And so when you know what your bigger vision is, actually what you come back to is, today, what decisions have I made today that have got me towards that big vision? And I just love it. I love hearing when businesses have gone through the process. It's on. In fact, I think it's on the next slide. It's a free version. Well, it's not on the next slide. When you either in the book, so it takes you through it in the book because it reads it. In the audio book, I obviously talk through it, but also on our blog, there's a page that talks about inspiration. Scroll down there and you'll see the one that says guided visualization, and you'll find the blog page that talks about it. And then also it has a YouTube video from us that has the guided visualization on it. So send us a message when we get to the end, or LinkedIn's at the end. Send us a message if you can't find it and we can send you the link. But it's really...
Just to add, I will send everyone the link at the end of the meeting, the link list.
Brilliant. So anybody who's registered,
yeah.
So anybody who's registered, you will be able to get that. You'll be emailed with all the links. Perfect. And hi, Agnes. Thank you for sharing this. She said, I'm sure I'm not the only one. The most enjoyable is the least profitable. Still love it. I know. And that's the hardest thing, isn't it? Because, it's quite painful, isn't it? So this is going back to when you did your enjoyability, profitability on the last slide. People are probably resonating with this as well. I think that what the thing is like, how do we change those customers in order to become more profitable? And there's definitely ways for us to do that. Or it's that actually that part of the business might still stay, but actually there's another part of the business that grows that is something that's going to become the profitable arm. Therefore, there might be these things that you do, but they're going to have to be reduced, or it's going to have to be kind of like outside of work time, because technically that's a hobby, or that's what you're giving to charity. That isn't a business. And that might sound really harsh that I'm saying that, but it's these words when we're talking about like the truth of what is going to move your business forward. Like, if I'm not really honest, and if I'm not really like supportive and helping you to make these changes, then there's no point in me like supporting people. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I know, Agnes, I know that can be really tough, and it's about changing that mindset. So I know we're in Communicado at the moment about that kind of question, and we've kind of like been talking about it a little bit. So yeah, definitely here to support you through that and help that to be something that turns your business around and helps you to have more high enjoyability and high profitability customers and replicate. Okay, so we've done vision, and talking about vision, we're going to hear from another one of our...
So hi, I'm Katie. So I'm the founder of Shaw Socials. I make social media simple with flexible support and full management options for businesses that struggle to keep up online. So whether that's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or LinkedIn.
Amazing. That was succinct. Thank you. And so tell us about the guided visualization and what effect that's had on your business.
It's had a major effect, if I'm honest, because it gave me time to just really sit back, understand how far I've come at the moment, and to really think about what I'd like in the future. So I do think with the Six Figure Niche, it really is like joining a supportive family. So through the process, I've gained so much confidence, and I think the guided visualization, it really gives you a space to discover yourself and explore new ways in which you want to enhance your business. So I know for me, public speaking is a key challenge in my 3-year plan, but I'm confident with the support of Six Figure Niche that I can overcome it. So it's nice to understand where you're at, but also where you could be at in 3 years' time.
Yeah, and I love what you said there about your goal to do more public speaking. So when you told us about your goal in the last session, you said, you know, this is something I really want to be doing. I want to be out there more. I want to be speaking on stages. I want to get known in my local area for doing what I do with social media. And what I loved about it was that when I said to you, okay, Katie, how would you feel about speaking for 20 minutes at our event on the 25th of September and answer the questions that customers, the other people within Six Figure Niche have got about social media, you were like, yeah, no problem, I will do that. Even though that's something like you actively said, this is something that is this isn't where I'm at yet, but this is where I want to be. And so we're putting you on that path, and we're putting you in front of everybody. Even today, we're putting in front of everybody to kind of start that journey of building up that confidence and exercising that muscle of public speaking. So yeah, credit to you for knowing that's what you want and for saying yes when the opportunities arise.
Thank you. I think it's quite, well, I thought about it after the call and I thought, oh gosh, what have I done? But obviously, I'm very looking forward to it. And I think it'll be great for, obviously, people to understand more, for people to, well, just to show people that it can be scary, but it can be done.
Yeah, that's so right. And I love what you're creating. So when you've been like, how long have you been running now?
Oh, I started in November 2024, so it hasn't even been a year.
This is insane, isn't it? And the customers that you've got on and the testimonials that you've had so far from customers, and you're developing such a you are already, I think, starting to get known in the area because of the networking you're doing and people recommending you to other people already. So I think this is like testament to the kind of person you are as well, and how you know what you want, and you like opportunities come and you are just turning around and going, yeah, no problem, let's do it. Like, this is scary, but I'm going to do it. So yeah, well done, Katie. And so you can check out more about Katie's business on her website. There's a QR code here. And of course, we'll add this to the email afterwards as well. Anything that you want to add before we finish, Katie?
No, I don't think so, but thank you for letting me speak. I do appreciate it.
Fantastic. So yeah, that was Katie. Lots of good nuggets there about kind of her why, what she's been doing, and also that challenge in the middle about her saying that she wants to be able to do speaking opportunities, and for us to say, okay, then we hear you. How about you come and do a talk for us? And she absolutely knocked it out of the park. I think people were just absolutely gobsmacked that Katie hadn't done talks in public with a presentation before. I think they were really surprised. So yeah, Katie mentioned there she's now been trading for 1 year as of November just gone. She is actually fully booked with her social media management services. We've supported her to raise her prices since she became fully booked, and as a couple of spaces came available, she took on some sales calls, and actually with her new pricing, which went from hourly based pricing to product based pricing, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, about how you do that. Katie actually sold her new product, her new pricing formula to the first customer she spoke to within the first 14 minutes. They just snapped her hand off. So it's about positioning, it's about supporting, it's about getting things to that right place so that actually you can talk with confidence, knowing that these are the right prices as you're increasing them, because as we said earlier, it can be very icky, it can be very hard to raise your prices, and I think that's one of the things that we are going to come on to next when we talk about the Raise Your Rates Challenge. Oh yes, this was something that Katie talked about. I think I've just covered this, because basically she was saying public speaking is a key challenge in my 3-year plan. And then here are some pictures of Katie standing up doing her talk. So when she talked about her guided visualization and what her business vision's like. She's now doing what was in her business vision purely because she kind of told us all about it, and then we gave her the opportunity to stand up and do that. So this was a room of about, I think it was about 14 members on the last in-person event. And so she was able to stand up and talk to people and do what she dreamt of doing. So if you are interested in having a go at your own guided visualization, I actually have got a link. I didn't realise. We're cleverer than we thought, aren't we, Angela? We're ahead of ourselves.
We really are.
We've got the link here. I was worried a bit earlier. Yeah, you can take a picture of this with your phone, go straight to the guided visualization, and that will help you to build out what you want for that 3-year vision for yourself. So then that all becomes very doable in the same way that Katie has just shown. Angela?
Yeah. Perfect. So once you've done all that work, it's now important to figure out your new niche. And this is because marketing is essentially to create, communicate, and deliver value to a target audience at a profit. So now we need to create this, as the target audience needs to be determined before any marketing touch points are put in place. So here I've created a customer persona for Six Figure Niche, and this is essentially our ideal customer. So as you can see, Janet. And based on this, it's important to look at the motivation, frustration, and goals so that you can align your marketing or messaging to directly speak to them. So when we think about our social media posts, videos, blogs, and newsletters, we are making sure that we create content that's valuable to our ideal customer and also speaks to them. And then next slide, please. So here I've actually created a template for you to edit on Canva so that you can also start designing your ideal customer. And when you leave this webinar, you'll have a clear view on who exactly it is you want to target. And you just need to scan the QR code on the side and log into your Canva account to access this for free. But if you don't have a Canva account, you'll just need to sign up, which is really quick and easy and free. Yeah.
Okay, so we've been talking about pricing just now when we was talking about Katie, and also earlier when we was talking about Kirsty. Is this something that you struggle with? I'm guessing that based on other business owners that we've spoken to, and also just going back to the fact on that persona, yes, it was a woman, but we do Six Figure Niche is open to women and men, just to put that out there. But pricing is something that people do tell us that they're struggling with, and they can feel that there is a glass ceiling, and there can be people around you that can be saying like, you're not charging enough. You might have customers that are saying you're not charging enough, but also you might have other people that, let's say they're not your target customer, but they're people that are within your sphere of influence, and they're saying, gosh, you're charging a lot. Yeah, I know somebody who put her prices out once on socials, and a family member got in touch and said, I think you've got an extra 10 too many on your pricing. And that really hurts to hear that. And, you know, we want to be able to support business owners to price where they feel like, I feel really comfortable, I feel really confident in this pricing, and I know that what I'm getting in return for the hard work I've got and the years of experience that I have in this industry, I know that I make a difference, and I know that this adds real value to people's lives. And that goes back to, you know, what are you really selling? Because when we talk about the value we're adding, this then starts to ring true with the pricing. So let's see what I've popped in here. So we've got a free 5-day challenge. We did tell you we're going to pump this session full of free and helpful tools today, and you can obviously take your pick. You know, you might download them all, you might just hop on to the ones that sound most interesting. It's totally up to you. But what we talk about in this 5-day challenge, it says here, raising your prices without the ick. What we talk about are things like the enjoyability and profitability. So we walk you through that in more depth. We've just done a little taster of that, haven't we? We're also going to design your perfect customer together. So what Angela was just talking about with the customer persona. We're also going to talk about how to package your rates up so that you're moving from day rate or hourly rate to having menu-based pricing. And this is the thing, it's not a bad thing to have a cost per hour. At the very beginning of this session, we talked about when we get to the end, I'm going to give away an hour with me worth £360, 300 plus the VAT. So actually, you know, it's not that we should feel ashamed. It's just that sometimes it can help people to see the value in what we do. Sometimes charging per hour or per day is actually what people need. So it's, you know, totally your call. It's just sometimes a menu-based pricing is a lot easier. And then we're going to talk you through on the 5-day challenge. Before you finish, I'm going to talk you through how to actually raise those prices and launch them. As in, what are you going to do with existing customers? What are you going to do with new customers? How are you going to choose who to raise what with? So we talk about a few different options with that as well. So hopefully that will be something that you can have a go at. Have a little go, see if it's, well, we send you an email every day for 5 days and you get a different little lesson each day to be able to go through. So we just talked about creating a menu of services. I'm just going to touch on that a little bit more here when we talk about productizing your services. Now, when you go to something like the hairdressers, the dentist, the vets, or even, dentists, vets and hairdressers, those three, you don't get told, so I'm going to charge you by hour. If your fill-in takes an extra 10 minutes, I'm going to roll it into the next hour, or I'm going to charge you pro rata for those 10 minutes. Like, they don't do that. What they say is, to have an extraction, it's going to cost, I don't even know, because touch wood, I've not had one for a very long time and hope not to have one again for a long time. Let's say, I don't know, £250. They don't say, I'm going to charge you £70 an hour, and then the anaesthetic is an extra £25, and then this and then that. And then, you know, they just say an extraction is £250, don't they? Same as if you go to the vets, you know, there'll be a charge to see them, but you don't really know how long you're going to be there. And then you'll get charged for the products that you might need to buy as a result. And same with the hairdressers. You know, if I have like a cut and colour, put my extensions in, all these prices are like, it is for the outcome, not for the time that it takes the person. Now, of course, you need to use an hourly rate in order to help you to work out what that pricing is going to be. But by creating a menu, it does give the customer literally this kind of a different emphasis on how much do I have in my account, business or personal, and how and can I cover that today? If so, how urgent is that? If it's an important vet's appointment, then of course you're going to kind of be like, well, if I haven't got it, I'll put on a credit card or whatever that is, or make a payment plan. But when you understand what the value is, when you understand that the menu and the pricing, actually it just comes down to, is it the value that I need right now and can I afford it? Rather than this whole mind games of, well, when I'm at work, I get paid X per hour, but then when I go to the vets charge me Y per hour. Oh my gosh, that's like 5 times my hourly rate. That's ridiculous. Do you know where I'm coming from? So they start to kind of like, this starts to like mingle in the heads and mess about a little bit. So yeah, we definitely talk about this in the Raise Your Rates Challenge, and there's also a month dedicated to this in the 6 Figure Niche program. So as you're starting to think about your touch points that you work with in your business, of course, you will have started looking at them with a view to the ROI calculator that we did back in the fourth out of 10. However, now we're looking at them a little bit differently. We're looking at, yes, of course, which were the most supportive in that journey, which have the highest ROI. But also what we start to look at with the touch points is which are the right touch points to use when we plot them into the AIDA model, which I talked about before, of awareness, interest, desire, and action. Which are the ones that we need to use? So if we were to use 2 at the top for awareness, 1 for interest, 1 for desire, and 1 for action, what would they be? And also, how do they connect the customer on that journey? So instead of having a plate of spaghetti and just going, well, be on TikTok this week, and oh, somebody wants me to go to that event, and oh, I could do a press release, and I don't know, I'll go on that podcast. So it can be very scattergun, and it can be very kind of just like it just happens. Or you can start to think, do you know what? It's 2026 coming up. I'm going to start to be really intentional and thoughtful about which touch points I use in order to connect them on the customer path, and also to make sure that they are touch points that I've been working in the past and that I'm not just throwing money down the drain. Time, money, and energy. That's what we don't want to lose. So we'd love to ask you a question here. Please put it in the comment box. When it comes to your marketing touch points, what do you tend to focus on at the moment? Do you use social media only, number one? A mix of social and email, number two? Do you rely on word of mouth because you've built up a good reputation, number three? Is it actually your website does a lot for you and it brings in leads because you've had your website up for a long time, you're actively adding more content, you focus on the SEO, you think about inbound links? It's number four. Is it all of the above? As in like, okay, yeah, I'm doing a bit of everything. Is it number six? Like, actually, I don't have a clear touch point strategy yet. I'm winging it at this point. Or number seven, like there's other things that you do. And if so, what are they? Because we'd love to know a bit more about you. Please let us know. Use the comments box. If you're on LinkedIn or if you're on YouTube, it's live and your answers will come to us and we can see them in our little comments box. One and three mainly. Hello, good to see you. So social media and word of mouth. Thank you. I'd love to know, which social media channels do you find work best for you? I would love to know. Word of mouth is the best marketing for me, and Insta. Brilliant. And I'd love to know from you, Agnes, do you actively put adverts out on Insta, or is it literally the organic content that you put out? And thank you, by the way. Thank you for putting answers in, because it really does help us to kind of make all this make sense for other people as well. LinkedIn, but should be focusing more on Insta. Well, you've got multiple things going on, haven't you? It's not just one thing anymore. So I guess you've got different platforms for different things, and that's okay. It's all right to think, for this strategy for this part of my business, I need to use these touch points, and this strategy for this part of my business, they might look different, and that's all right. And you're saying number 6, so I don't have a clear touch point strategy yet, and that's okay. And the majority of people that get in touch with us say exactly the same, because they think, I didn't even know that I needed to think about how the way that I position the touch points that I use. Yeah, I need to use ones where, going back to Angela's persona, making that target audience. Of course, we need to understand what are the main ways that they want to find us. And also, when we think back to the enjoyability, profitability, and that DD, how did they find us? They are the gold dust that we are putting into our touchpoint strategy moving forward for 2026. Thank you, Agnes. So organic content with calls for action. Okay, cool. So a little bit of a mixture there. We've got LinkedIn, Instagram. We've also got word of mouth, and yeah, a bit of a mixture. And this is good. So what we've prepared is, of course, we've got another thing to help you. So there's a free marketing touchpoints checklist here. You can download this. It's a piece of paper, and it's literally got It's called Pick Your Points, and it's got 40 different touch points that you can tick off to say, yes, I currently do this, and I would like to do this in future. So it just gives you some inspiration and some help to understand what might I think about, what other touch points have I not thought about? The bottom of a receipt, writing things on the invoice, answer phone message, giving away bags that have got, if you're at an event and there's bags and actually they're doing the marketing for you. Like, there's so many things that we don't always think about that can kind of think, oh, do you know what? When I think about what's worked well for us before with the ROI calculator, what our target customer wants, the kind of customers that bring in high enjoyability, high profitability, when we put all of that together and we think, do you know what? I think we're missing a trick here. We could also be adding in this thing, which when we think awareness, we've got the customers in, but then desire and action, there's something missing in the middle there, that we're not putting something out there to help them with a bit more information on how that journey is going to be. And actually, since we created Pick Your Points, so this free Touchpoints marketing checklist, I've written a second book. So Six Figure Niche came out in January, but the A to Z of marketing came out a couple of weeks ago. This is on Amazon as well. And it's got 170 touch points. So whereas the Pick Your Points has got 40, and that's free, this has got 170 touch points and also another 160 marketing buzzwords, all explained. So it kind of goes through the alphabet it's a bit like a dictionary and a thesaurus, if you remember, in olden times when we had dictionary and thesaurus, where you've got two A to Zs, and so they sit together. So there's 170 touch points and then 160 buzzwords. And I think I might have put if I've been clever enough. Yeah, I did. I've put a little QR code here. So oopsie, getting ahead of myself. If you want to grab that off Amazon, the A to Z of marketing is now available. There is the ebook of both books, and there is the main hard copy, which can be with you in a couple of days. And so you can just scan the QR code here, go to Amazon. They're printed in the UK, which I really love. And also they are print on demand. So yeah, I think in terms of having, I know we can sometimes moan about Amazon, but actually I think having something tangible that you can get all the information together in can be really beneficial. So hopefully that's something that is of interest. And the final one, 10 out of 10, at the top of the shop, Angela's going to tell us about content pillars.
Yeah, so in this presentation, we've been building the foundation for your key messaging step by step. And so each layer that we've added makes it clearer and easier to see how everything fits together. So from this, you now have a starting point for your content calendar, which means that planning and creating content will feel a lot less overwhelming. And yeah, so it also gives you a set of clear content pillars, the main themes you can keep coming back to whenever you need to create content. And just another thing to add, if you are on an email database, every month we do send out a marketing calendar, a monthly marketing calendar where we have loads of dates and events that you can use to capitalize on and, create content with. So for example, one could be Global Entrepreneurship Week, one's International Women's Week. But yeah, so if you're not on our email database yet, I can also add a link to the email that I'll be sending out with all of the links to join our newsletter.
Lovely. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, and so that kind of brings together all of those 10 lessons really of how to build the foundations of your marketing, know where you're going with your business, understand your target customer, build in all the other elements of messaging, pricing, who's going to give you the most money and enjoyability and profitability. And when all of those come together, actually, it's just really powerful. And so, we've got a quote here by Melanie. This was somebody who's actually in government, and she read the book and gave us a lovely testimonial, glowing report. We've also been featured in Freelancer magazine by Sophie Cross in her lovely magazine. She's such a sweetie. And then, of course, we've got here where we have the website, and there's loads of content. We're always adding things to the blog to be really helpful. And just a little bit about the 12-month program before we wrap up and before we decide who has won the hour one-to-one with me. 12-month program, if all of this has sounded like a kind of path that you want to take, and it sounds like, yeah, do you know what? I need to focus on this stuff in my business. We're here to help you to navigate through all of that and to make it feel a lot easier. If you're wondering the price, it is £240 a month for the 12 months. But we do have a special offer. If somebody wants to join today, we would give you 12 months for the price of 10 and charge a one-off cost of £2,400. So do send us a message. We're going to give you our LinkedIn at the end. Do send us a message if you're interested in that. But yeah, we get glowing reports from all of our members who join us. We have our in-person events where everybody gets together. They're members-only events. We have a WhatsApp group. I'm going to talk you through a few little bits of this as well because, Angela's going to run through what to expect.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, as Vic said, we have a WhatsApp group, which is really nice because we build a community there and people can, ask questions and other members will also answer. And the first thing you'll get is the monthly live workshops where every month you'll have online learning sessions. And this is where we teach you the strategies within the Six-Figure Niche book. So the things that you've learned today, we'll go through it in more detail and answer your questions. And then you'll also get an online Q&A session. And this is where you'll be able to ask any question in a group setting. So even if you don't have any questions, it's still worth going to these sessions because other members may have questions that could spark ideas for you. And then next. And then also we've got accountability support with me. This will either be through WhatsApp or email, whichever you prefer. And you can send me your task at the beginning of the week, and I'll check back with you at the end of the week to see how you've got on, if there are any blocks that are stopping you from finishing your task. And we can work on this together so that we can make sure you're on track to achieve your goals. And then as well, we've got Video Ask Week, which is Video Ask is a software where once a month you can ask us a question privately through Monday to Wednesday, and we'll answer by Friday. And you can do this by sending a video or by sending a voice memo or by text, whichever you prefer. And lastly, as Vic said, we have our quarterly in-person networking events. And every quarter, our members get the opportunity to get together at a venue. The last one was at Callow Hall, and it was incredible. So magical. The weather was amazing as well. So that was really lovely. And we'll be talking about the next venue shortly. But this is an opportunity to meet the people that you've been in the program with, and you see them in real life, and you get to connect with and network with each other. And it's always such a fun time because we do a lot of activities and teach you some strategy that's not something that we've already talked about in the online learning sessions. And so here, like we were saying, we've got a WhatsApp group chat for our members. We just wanted to share a few screenshots of some of the wins that our members have shared on the group chat, and we're just so incredibly proud of them.
Yes, so thank you for that, Angela. It's lovely. I mean, I think the thing is, like when we started, when Angela and I started the Six Figure Niche program back in May, we're obviously building a six-figure business ourselves. So there's a saying, isn't there? You can't be what you can't see. So we're very honest about how we're building our six-figure business, and we're actually building 2 six-figure businesses at this point. We're also building Young Hustle Hub, where we're selling our educational programs to colleges. And that's going to be a six-figure business as well. So we're very honest about how we are building our own business model. And so that it's very like we're walking the walk. We're not just explaining like, oh, this is what you could do in this textbook. It's like, this is the third, well, I've created 3 six-figure businesses historically, and this will be the 4th and the 5th. So we're doing what we say, and we stand by. We know this plan works, and we also have fun doing it at the same time. Because if you remember what we said earlier, is that the my why, like why we run this business, is to create financial stability for our customers and to help them have fun, which in turn helps us to have fun ourselves. So we would love it if you are interested. You can click this QR code, you can apply, and that can be like apply and then we can have a conversation. You're not signing up at this stage. You're just applying to say, I'm registering my interest. And of course, if you do decide to take us up on the bonus offer, you can pay up front if you wish and get 2 months free, or you can pay monthly and have it so that it's cash flow, better for cash flow. And then when you click the application page, if you have a look on this page, all the dates this next cohort we're talking about will begin on the 2nd of February, and then it runs through until the end of January in 2027. It felt very weird putting these dates together, didn't it, Angela? But we've got all that nailed down now. And if it's something of interest, but like we said, this is just to put it on your radar. This is not hard sell. We've obviously wanted to give you loads of helpful information, and we only accept 12 founders per cohort as well. So we have 3 cohorts per year. We have 12 founders in each one. So we have a maximum of 36 founders at any one point that we are supporting through the program. And of course, these are the people that are coming together and connecting. Tiny little bit about our next event. So if you do join us, you'll be if you join us from February, you'll be able to join us at our next event, which is in Nottingham. It's at the Six Restaurant, which is actually at the cricket ground, which is not by chance. Obviously, Six is like when you hit it out the grounds, isn't it? But actually, Six is a lovely restaurant for us to have six-figure niche there. So the next one is Thursday, the 22nd of January. We run these from 2 till 5, so we have 3 hours. And we have, as Angela said earlier, we have learnings that are over and above what's in the book and the workbook. But we also have some of our members stand up and talk if it's relevant to what that topic is on the day. And if they feel like, do you know what, I'm ready to talk. I haven't spoken before in public, and this is something that I want to do and build my confidence with people that I know are going to be really supportive when I'm talking about what I do. And that's just so that you know where the restaurant is. So one last thing before we finish off, because we know we've got 10 minutes left. You're going to hear from Tara, and she's going to tell you a bit more about her experiences of going through the 12-month program with us. Now, she started in May, and her business is she's now bringing a book out. She's pivoted what she's doing. She's found her calling. She now knows what she's called. Some of these things felt very like in the midst of being finalized for Tara. And so I know that the Six Figure Niche program has helped her to solidify what she does, how she does it, who she serves, what they really get, etc.
It supported me in so many different ways. So, sorry,
go on.
Just to add that Tara is a cacoist and a space holder as well.
Thank you. Sorry, I forgot. Thank you.
When I bought the book, I literally got to about chapter 3 and was like, well, okay, it's great to have the book, but where's the club? I want to join the club. because I wanted the structure that took me through each chapter and really got me to stop and pause and think and like hold a mirror up and hold me accountable. So I really love the fact that the program runs alongside the book, and I really enjoy the portal, so you can go over the work and you can go over a chapter or the exercise as often as you like. But the bit I think that supported me the most is the community. What comes from the community is accountability. So heads up, if you're going to join, when you join, don't put anything in the accountability chat unless you really want to be held accountable, because this isn't a talking shop. This is a, come on then, let's go. Yeah, and it's really as simple as that. And I really love the honesty of the community that we have both in the group work and also in the WhatsApp chat. I mean, I've shared some social media posts and gone, okay, you know, what do you think of this particular style of post? And you get really honest, straightforward feedback. What works well? What can be better? Boom, off you go, move on. I really, really like that. And of course, I love meeting the community in person as well. Callow Hall looks amazing. The last venue was fantastic, and the Lego exercise was mind-blowing. Like, it's so much fun, creative, but what it's really helped me do is move me on. Like, this is a program to move you forwards. So as much fun as it is, it's like, well, come on then, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And I love that. Yeah.
Wow. I think you've just encapsulated everything that we try to bring, but you just never know how it's going to land with each person. And I think with what you've said, and I know there, you know, the other members would reiterate this as well, like all those things you said about it's not a talking shop. Yes, it's nice to be around those people who are also like-minded and wanting to build their businesses in the same vein, but actually we're doing the doing and we're having fun at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Well, my next question was, what's been your favourite part of the programme? But I don't know whether you could pinpoint one thing, could you? On the list of what you've just said.
That's a really great question. And actually, there is, and it occurred to me when I was listening to your presentation, what has been my favourite bit is the balance between the structure and the process, as well as imagination and dreaming. So I think it's really easy to be in business and go, right, okay, where's my spreadsheet? Where's my formula? Where's my, you know, whatever it is. But actually, for me, what's really supported my kind of like my business development, as it were, is the way in which that you bring in imagination and dreaming. So it would never have occurred to me a couple of months ago, or my ideal client sits in a village hall. Well, okay, am I working in a village hall? No. Well, what am I going to do about that then? But it was just imagining who was reading my book and where they were sitting. I would never have got that if I've just gone and looked at a list of things that a list of most things that people do, Facebook or Instagram, or, you know, notices in the vet's window, whatever it is. So that's been my favourite bit, is the balance of the masculine and the feminine.
Yeah,
it's been really beautiful.
Makes total sense. And final question, what would you say to those who are considering potentially joining the programme with us today?
Oh my gosh. I mean, on the cohort that I'm on, I signed up first. When I spoke to Vic, and she's like, I've got a program. Yes. Would you like to sign? Yes. Will it start soon? Yes.
You were just like, I'm just get me in.
Just like, you know, it was just that when you know, and you have this incredible, you know, we all have this incredible innate knowing, we have instincts, we have intuition. And part of what I teach is if it resonates and it's speaking to you, don't question why. And some of the uncertainty came from me was, well, you know, I'm pivoting. What does that mean? Like, my business is really, really changing. Does that mean this is suitable for me? Yeah, some people on the program are pivoting. Other people will be having established businesses and looking to grow. It's like, what I would say is everybody's welcome. And if your heart's going, yeah, do you know what? 12 months of really focusing on this to make it simple would benefit me, and my heart's kind of smiling, then yeah, do it. It's just, for me, it's been a no-brainer, but yeah, and fun.
Thank you. And I love what you touched on there was about other people on their own journeys. And that's one of the things we lay down at the very beginning, isn't it? About expectations. It's like, we don't expect you to be in competition with anybody else in the cohort. You're in competition with yourself yesterday and last week and last month. And your journey is going to unfold in the way it is. You don't need to look sideways at other people. Actually, it's about championing other people and where they're at. because there are people that are further behind and further forward. It's about us all just being on that journey, like as singular and as a group together, if that makes sense.
And there's so much wisdom that comes from having such a rich cohort, 12 people.
Yeah.
That's some real richness in conversation, in inspiration, in ideas, in suggestions, in struggles, in troubles. You get to hear it all. So it's got some, the program has got some real depth and richness to it that brings meaning, and it's great. That's the quickness. I really enjoy it. I really, really, really enjoy it. And I'm deeply grateful to the way in which it's delivered.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. And of course, you can check out Tara's website, have a look about her business, what she does, how she does it. And if you need to book on a trip to Norway, get booked on. You have to follow her on Instagram, because when she does the Norway trips, it's like, oh my goodness me. You're so brave. Thank you, Tara. Really fabulous. And it really makes me so happy to hear those things that Tara was saying. Like we said earlier, it's really true to what Angela and I have created with the program, and how we build it, and how we support people, and how we make it work. But we kind of just wanted to open up the floor for any last questions. We've got 5 minutes before we head off. If there's any questions that you've got regarding any of those 10 things that we've talked about, the 10 elements of building your business to become 6 figures, if there's any elements of that, please drop your questions in. We really, really, really want to help you today. Or what you can do is you can, hold on, let me just go forward and then I will come back to that. You can connect with us on LinkedIn, because we're here for any questions, whether they be related to the program or the book, or whether that is literally like, can you help me figure out this thing? Like, we're here for it all. Yes, this has been explaining a bit about the program and also the book, but we're here for people who aren't yet ready for that, or even those people that the program will never touch, and it's like, that's never going to be for me, but I just need to ask you a question to help me get over something. Like, we're here for that too. So please do connect with Angela and myself on LinkedIn. Please do send over any questions that you feel you don't want to ask in this arena today. But if you have got any questions, please do pop them in, and we will help you with any answers. So if you, I'm going to go back one sec, because we did talk about this. So what we would like to do is, for anybody who wants to be in the raffle, I'm going to write names. Please pop your name in the chat. You can just put a first name in the chat, and somebody today will win a 1-hour session with me online. It's 300 plus the VAT, so you're getting that for free, and we can arrange it at a time either before Christmas or in the new year, whatever you wish. So please pop in your name. Thank you. And I will put these on here. Some names coming through. Let me write these down. Pen. I've only got a green highlighter. Is there anybody else who wants to be in the raffle whilst I am writing down these names? And this, I've got a little glass here. This glass says, cheers to the good times. Right. So, Matt, you're going in. You're going in the little there. Agnes. You're going in. In there. I want to do it now, because then it's very transparent and we can see. And I want to make sure people see that it's been done. And Becky, so we've got 3 people on the live who want to be in the draw. Becky, you're going in. There's 3 there. Cheers to the good times.
Cheers.
Cheers, Angela. So the winner is Matt. Congratulations. We'll be in touch, and we'll sort out when you want to have a conversation. And thank you, Agnes and Becky, for also putting your names forward. So yeah, if there aren't any questions that we have right now that are sticking out for you. Let me just push this on one more. Please do get in touch with any that's saying please do get in touch with any questions that come up for you. We would love to help. Angela, is there any final word from you? Anything that you thought of? Oh, we've not said this thing, or any final thoughts from you?
No, I think we went through everything. Just a big thank you for joining and participating in the chat. We really do appreciate your participation. And yeah, thank you all so much for joining us today.
Brilliant. And we will see you all soon. Please stay in touch. And yeah, look out for the email. Angela's going to send you an email with all those links on, probably this afternoon or in the morning. And yeah, stay in touch. If there's any questions, do let us know. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.